Hi, this is OnesToWatch Chef's Choice. I'm Abby Kenna.
I'm Giselle Libby.
And there's no artist today.
I'm releasing a song.
Giselle Libby is releasing her diss track.
Yeah, literally.
This is our holiday episode.
I'm so excited.
It's like countdown to 2024, I guess.
Yeah.
We have one release for every month of the year, pretty much. Not from every month
I was
of the
about to
year.
say I didn't do that.
No, I didn't do that either.
But our top 12 releases of this year.
2023.
Yes.
And they are very contrasting lists of releases.
Which I'm happy about.
But for the girls.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's probably one or two men on both of our lists.
Oh, no, mine has a lot of men involved, but it's like men that were written by women.
Involved?
Yeah.
they're just
there
involved.
Were men in the room. So there's a slight male
As
energy.
there always is.
Unfortunately, this is true.
Not in this room.
Not in this one, ever. Okay. Should we go bottom up?
Yeah, I think we should start with our number 12.
Number 12. Okay.
Countdown.
Would you like to start?
Yes. So my number 12 of the year was the song called Good Things Take Time by Harmony, who was in Girlpool.
Yes.
And this is her solo project. And I had to add a little hyperpop in there. It's like this song, when I listened to it, like I stopped in my tracks. It was like the perfect timing for me to hear it. Charlie XCX posted on her story, and so I was like, of course I'll take a listen.
Yeah, a little gold star there.
Exactly. I was like, well, I guess I have to listen. And it's just like it's like a mantra song where she just repeats good things take time kind of like over and over.
But like it takes on a different meaning as it goes.
Yes, yeah. And it's just like pure fun, and it's like it's the best thing to put on when you're like feeling stuck, because it's like it just reminds me that like good things take time. And like I literally I listened to it the day I got laid off. I
love that.
It was
like for the first time.
Yeah, like I was on a walk and then I saw Charlie XCX posted it, and I was like, that sounds like a title that I need right now. Good things take time. And it's just been on repeat. It's like such a fun, like unserious song,
right?
Which I love. It's like one of my favorite types of music.
Unserious, but like about a serious,
but very
topic,
serious at
right?
the same time.
Yeah.
Serious to me. So yeah, and it's such a bop. And I'm pretty sure 100 Gex, at least one of them, worked on the production. So it's very like classic hyperpop to me.
I love everything they do, so that's exciting.
Yeah, it's amazing. And she's so cool. Her aesthetic, her outfits, like I'm always like looking for her for inspo, for outfit inspo.
Okay,
she's such a cool person.
I have so many artists saved to my Pinterest board titled Be Cool.
You need to add her. She's so cool.
Okay, I will. I do love though when like sometimes I'll hear a song in a emotional situation that is not right for me to hear that song, and I'm like, oh, I didn't like that release, and then I hear it when I just got laid off from a job or something, and I'm like, oh, okay, so this is everything to me now.
Exactly.
So I love when it has that emotional
perfect
context.
timing.
Yeah. Mine is like somewhat similar. I just heard this EP a couple days ago. It was released on the 7th. Today's the 11th or whatever. Why Aren't You Laughing by Ratbag?
Love the name.
Another one of those names where our friends who are not in music would be like, you made that up.
Yeah, literally. Rat bag, sure. Whatever that means.
Ratbag. Love them.
That's so
I think
cool.
their artist profile picture is them with like their hair and a bunch of like gelled out spikes. And I was just like, yeah, I'm here for this. It's a little like industrial indie pop. Like there's some yelling going on, but it still has like the pop roots to it.
Love.
There's this song called Rotten Love, and it's just like rot in love, like not rotten love.
I love a play on words.
It was awesome. I heard it when I was working at the coffee shop, and I did the thing where like it's really busy and I shouldn't be stopping to check the Spotify.
I was about to say, do you like hear a lot of songs?
Yes.
That's awesome.
My coworkers don't like it when I have aux because I always put on like, there's this one Spotify playlist called Undercurrents, which is like underground indie rock.
Yeah.
And I religiously put that on. They're like, what the fuck did you play? And I'm like, I don't know the music.
You're like, you don't know Rat Bag?
You're not down with Rat Bag. No, but like, I'm sure you're the same way. I feel like you have to listen to 50 songs to find one that hits.
Yeah.
So I always am just putting on shit that is like so out of pocket.
Yeah.
Weird.
That's so funny.
I have to deal with it.
Love.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Okay.
All right. Number 11.
Number 11.
My number 11 is another number. It's called 16 by Sadie Jean.
I know Sadie Jean. What song would I know by her?
I don't know. It's the only song I know by her.
Okay. Tell me about it.
She did just release either an EP or an album, and I need to listen to it. But it's sometimes it's like, this one song, it's like I'm not done with this song yet. Like I just am still going back to this one. It's like I know I'll listen to her other music eventually, but right now I'm just like taking this one.
You kind of don't want to like taint the song you love with the rest of it. Yeah.
Exactly. And like I don't know if I'm like, it's not that I'm not ready, but it's like I'm still like so obsessed with this song. Like once I need more, I'll go listen to the rest of the project probably soon.
Yeah.
But I love any song about girlhood and like childhood reminiscing, and this song is just like the melody, the like it's just so freeing, but it's also like thinking about your childhood and like being 16 like with your friends and like all the things you thought were like really cool back then that are just like so simple and like grown up, that are so like you would never feel that way about it now.
Yeah. So it's in like a positive light.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's also, I mean, I think any like childhood reminiscent song has like a tinge of sadness to it for me, at least. It's very much like it's melancholy for sure. Melancholy, fun little pop song, but she's so good. Like I love the lyrics, are so well written and like visual. I literally feel 16 like a little girl.
I need to save that. I listen to like exclusively melancholy like coming of age music when I fly home.
Oh my god. Oh, that's gonna hit on the way home for Christmas break. Like almost like warning, like it might hit a little too hard.
That's fine. This isn't one of my ones on my list. But do you know the artist Medium Build?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I have one of his projects later, but he just released a song called In My Room. And it was based off of these pictures he found that he had posted on Facebook when he was 10, I think is the number.
Why were you on Facebook when you were 10?
Yeah, first red flag. But it was just like pictures of his room. And I think the caption was something like, why would I go out? I have my room, something like that.
Yeah.
And he just wrote this whole song like from the lens of a kid who's just like asking his friend to sleep over, and he's like, I've got this Simpsons poster and like I don't need anything else. This is where I feel safe.
That stuff gets me every time.
I know, and I was like, fuck, like when was the last time I felt like that?
Exactly. That's what this song is. It's like 16 in the park with your friends, like hanging out, and it's like it felt so monumental.
Right.
And it's like it's just crazy.
It was just another moment.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh, I love that. I'm a sucker for childhood memory.
Same.
Media.
I will. Yeah. Every repost on TikTok of mine is like one of those poetry slideshows about childhood and like hope.
That's why I can't be on TikTok all spiral.
It would break you. It does. It breaks me every day.
What's your number 11?
My number 11 is an album called Rat Saw God. Another rat one.
You love rats.
I truly do. By Wednesday. It's a band. They're very like Midwest folk grunge-ish indie rock, but they have this song. It's one called Bull Believer. It's like 8 minutes long.
Wait, Bull
Believer.
Cool.
Yes.
The songs you like have really interesting like wording choices and like alliterations and stuff like that.
I'm so drawn to words.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the songwriter in me or like the poetry in me, but yeah. Bull Believer is split into two parts. There's like the bull part and then the believer part.
That's cool.
And the believer part, like the whole second half, is basically just her screaming.
Love.
But like I feel like we get a lot of screaming in music nowadays, but like not the Olivia Rodrigo like high pitched screaming. It was like guttural, and
that's crazy.
The first time I listened to it.
Kind of like Phoebe Bridgers, I Know the End screaming.
Yes. Yeah. Like with that whole like orchestral kind of shit going on. And I sobbed when I listened to it. I made everyone I know sit down and listen to it with me. I just think it's an incredible album, like front to back. But that song, I don't know. She did something there.
Oh my God, I need to listen. I love a woman screaming. Sign me up.
A woman screaming, and it's just like so rageful in a, like, I don't know, just a very emotional way. It's not in like a spiteful,
I love that
perspective. Yeah,
that's so cool. I can't wait to listen to all of these after.
I know, we have to make a playlist.
Yeah.
Okay, 10.
My 10 is Cry Over Everything by Charlie Adams.
Queen.
It was hard to pick which one, but I'm a Cancer, so Cry Over Everything,
of course,
is always gonna do it for me because that is what I do. Charlie is like, she's been an artist I've listened to for like years now.
Yeah.
But this year I feel like her music, it just kind of leveled up. Like it just felt really like unique to her.
Yeah, she's finding herself.
Yes, definitely. Her voice is just like, it's just the way her the tone of her voice is, it like evokes such an emotional reaction from me. Yeah. And it's like, that's just how she sounds. Like she's not trying to, that's just how her voice sounds to me. Mm-hmm. And I love, like, it's all that I know is I know how I'm feeling, letting it go. That's how I'm healing. I'm like,
so like, Cancer of you.
Yeah, I'm like keep going. Like she's definitely one that sounds, it's like you were in my brain when you wrote this.
Yes.
Like
and she wrote that with Carol Addis, if you know Carol.
She's amazing.
Oh, and Andy Seltzer as the producer. I'm like, that trifecta is insane.
Literally gold.
Couldn't go wrong. And
I feel like next year she'll probably like release songs that are just gonna keep destroying me in the best way.
I think they will.
So yeah, that song has been on repeat, especially like the later part of the year. She's just so good every time. And then I go, like, she's one that I like, when I hear that song, I'm like, I have to go listen to all of her music. Like, I go back, I'm like, Backseat, like all.
Backseat, yes. That one
so
is
good.
So good. And we were talking about this. I had talked to her a couple weeks ago, and I mentioned Backseat. I was like, I used to cry to that when I was like 17. She was like, oh, I don't even like know what I think about that song anymore. I was like, shut up. That song meant so much to me when I was sitting in the back of my parents' car.
Exactly.
And I still listen to it and feel the same way.
It's so good. That EP or project was so good. And like I said, she's just leveling up, but it doesn't take away from like the older music. It makes it even better because it's like, you know where she is now.
Yes, like the full story is. Yes, it's being
completed. The story is storying.
It's storying. Okay, my 10 is an album, specifically the deluxe version of Flounder by Quinny.
Yes.
She wrote the He's So Pretty When He Goes Down on Me song, Touch Tank, which like an incredible song. Objectively, not the best on that album. Yeah. I think she slayed with this whole thing.
Which is so cool when like the song that everyone knows isn't even the best.
Exactly. And I like tell everybody in the indie scene, like you have to just give the whole album a chance because it's one of those special ones where she has songs that are complete songs, but they're not like verse, chorus, pre-chorus, chorus. It's like going above and beyond structure, and it's just like, this is what I needed to say, this is the way I felt it should be said. That's so sick. The whole thing is basically an outro, and you're just gonna have to like that.
I love that.
Yeah, it was really lovely, and she touched on some like deeper topics, but also just like Jake's Car is one of those smaller ones where it's literally just like about her kind of borrowing her friend's car in that like moment in time. I don't know. So sick. I keep coming back to that one, and it's sort of like what we were talking about before, where like there were tracks I listened to, liked, and then one night at like 11 p.m. I'm driving, and all of a sudden it means something so much more. Yeah. So I'm a fan.
That's awesome.
Yes. Okay, number 9.
Yeah, number 9, Twist My Arm EP by Gary.
The legend Gary.
Literally. We had the pleasure of seeing her perform, I guess, all of it.
Yeah, the whole EP and a cover of Fake Plastic Trees by Radiohead, which was rude.
Literally, I was shook. I was in shambles. Yeah. She's amazing. We were literally in this like little barn. We were literally front row.
We were a foot and a half away from her.
I'm like, hi.
This tall goddess of a woman.
But yeah, that EP, this is high praise, but she kind of reminds me of Taylor Swift.
Hell yeah.
Like after seeing her perform, like, and also she did a new song, which I've just been thinking about nonstop. That one I was like, this is like Taylor in a way that it's not like a descendant of Taylor, which we have so many of now. Yeah. But it just had like it had a quality that just felt really rare to me.
Yeah.
But she's amazing. This EP is so good. I love at the end of Death Deposit when it just goes crazy. Seeing that live was unreal. I want everyone to see that song live.
Yeah, I think that moment where Death Deposit ends it, right? That's the one. Yeah. And that you song. Hear the title line of Twist My Arm, and like when that settles, I like immediately had to go back and listen to the whole thing again.
Yes.
Because I finally understood what it all means.
Exactly.
Oh, it was just so good. She is a gem of a human.
Literally. She's an angel. And she's a storyteller.
Yes.
Like, also, the craziest moment was that line, your James Dean poster.
And it was right behind her.
Literally, the poster was behind her. And I'm like, that's the James Dean poster.
Oh, and we all clocked it.
Yeah.
Like, you could feel the energy in the room.
Literally, it shifted. And then I think afterwards, she was like, yeah, that is the poster.
Oh, my God.
And that's such a, like, I love when there's details that, like, come alive in, like, live performance, or just, like, when you find out more about an artist, you're, like, you just feel so much more connected to them.
Yeah.
From, like, details like that. So that was amazing. Gary is definitely someone I will be following everything she does.
Yeah. She's one of those artists that, like, the first time I heard her sing a note, I was like, yeah, okay, so you're going to be someone, and you already are.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm a stan, so.
Yeah, a stan and a fan.
Exactly.
Okay, my number 9 is I've Loved You for So Long by the Aces, which is just, like, the gayest album that's been released this year.
I mean, they stay releasing gay albums.
Yeah, they stay gay. I was at Futch the other night, and I just kept seeing members of them walk by, and I was like, this is so absurd. I was not prepared for this.
Imagine not living in LA and being like, you saw who at what? Futch?
The Aces at Futch. Yeah. And
you didn't see the Aces at Futch? Like,
the Aces were hanging out with a member of the Beaches. So
I finally started listening to the Beaches, and I was like, they're Aces coded.
They're Aces coded, just Canadian.
Yeah. The Canadian Aces. But Absolutely. They're both amazing in their own right, too.
Incredible. That song, the song on the album, but the whole album was just hit after hit for me. The song Girls Make Me Wanna Die really, really came out the week of a breakup for me.
And you took that personally.
I took that personally, and I said, I'll only listen to this now, actually. I think I only really listened to it for that 1 month, too, and it was still, like, number 4 on my Spotify.
That's awesome.
But generally, just, like, a must listen.
They're so good.
Yeah, captures the gay experience. So.
Yeah, I always go back to their first album. That was, like, so monumental for me.
Yeah, and they just really keep getting better. I'm like proud of them in a way I don't deserve to be because I don't know them.
You're like, I watched you grow.
I found you a year ago. Okay, number 8.
Okay, number 8 is Burton Street by Austin, who we had on the podcast.
Yes, Queen.
She played me this song like sent it to me a couple months ago, and it's so interesting with unreleased music. Like, I loved it, but there's something about it when it comes out that just is like, okay, it's real now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, I loved it so much. I was like, you have to release this. I'm pretty sure she probably, like, changed a couple things between then. And then it came out, and it's, like, at the top of my Spotify on repeat.
Yeah.
Since it came out. The bridge on this song...
I've been seeing it all over TikTok.
Yeah, exactly. And another, I'm not going to bring it up again, but another Taylor Swift bag. Like, it just paints such a vivid, like, story and image. And I love specific things that, like, don't really mean anything to me, but then then they do mean something to me, like Burton Street, like wherever that is. But, like, when I'm listening to, I'm like, I'm also moving on from Burton Street.
Right.
Like, it's
because she invites you into it.
Exactly. And it becomes more of a like metaphor, obviously.
Right.
That song, again, she just keeps getting better too. And I feel like Charlie Adams, I was saying, like, she's just leveling up.
She is. And it made me really happy to hear that song and feel like it sounded like her. Because when we had her on the podcast, all of her music is incredible.
Yeah.
But she seemed like she didn't feel like it was representing her yet. And this feels so Austen.
Yes.
And like everything that she was describing, like, were her hopes for the future. And
100%.
Yeah, it makes me really happy.
Yeah, it's an incredible song, and I need to see it live.
Oh my God, yeah, she needs to play a show. I've never seen her live.
I saw her once, a headline show at the Moroccan Lounge. It was incredible. And then just like with this music, like this needs that, Molly, Hot, all the releases this year need to be performed live.
Oh my God, Molly too, I forgot about that.
So good. That I was between Molly and Burton Street.
Yeah.
But I guess
Burton hits home a little more.
Yeah, I'm such a like, I love a like release bridge.
Yes.
Where it's like you feel the energy just like explode.
Absolutely.
And she like perfected that.
Beautiful. Okay, my number 8 is Blondshell by Blondshell, which
Queen.
we knew was coming. Blondshell has taken back grunge, and I just like, there's so much to say about her. Her energy is like just so 90s revival. She intimidated me so hard that I didn't know how to interview her.
She is so cool.
She's so cool and intelligent.
Yes.
And I've loved like watching her interviews and seeing her now on tour with Liz Phair is like fucking insane.
I saw something like this morning and I didn't realize she was on tour with her, and I was gagged.
Yeah.
That's the perfect
match. Yeah. But something that I do love that she's done is talk about addiction through like substances in the album, but also kind of talk about love addiction and like self-sabotage in a way that feels really cathartic as a woman.
Yes.
Because there's like, obviously we are victims a lot of the time, but there's a rage that no one understands if you're not a woman and you haven't been like stepped on by men. And she just talks about it like perfectly. Like I will never be able to express that thought better than she has. She literally, like the fact that she's on tour with Liz Phair, just making me realize like she feels like someone who's not from this time. She's not.
Like in the best way, not in like an annoying way. No, because I'm a modern girl. Like I was
born to be.
Yeah,
in the
exactly.
90s.
I was born in the wrong generation. But she embodies something that like is almost like lost.
Yes, like a rebellion that we don't really see as much.
She's so good.
Yes,
such a sweet person too.
Yeah.
My number 7 is Mosquito by Pink Pantheress.
Okay.
The whole album is amazing. I've loved Pink Pantheress since she was releasing like a 50-second clip on TikTok.
Yeah, you've always been there from the start.
Yeah, she's like one of the only good things that came out of TikTok for me. But Mosquito, this song, there's this like the chorus goes, "I just had this dream I was dead and I only cared because I was taken from you."
Oh,
I was like, you just said that.
Why did I not know those were the words?
I mean, I love her, but sometimes you have to look up the lyrics.
Oh.
But like, I think that I love kind of taking another step with music. Like I like having to look up the lyrics sometimes.
Yeah, I don't mind it.
But when I heard that, I was like, you just said that.
Damn. And her little like pop princess thing
that
too.
That is why I love her, because like I love deep lyrics, but sometimes I need like also like a little fun element. And she's like, I just had this dream I was dead. And I'm like, oh, me too.
You're like, me too, girl. Let's get into it.
She's so underrated as a lyricist.
Yeah.
Because I feel like people sometimes think like simple or shorter or like it is not as, I would argue sometimes it's harder.
I agree.
So I love her. And the fact that she's become like a pop star.
It's incredible.
Is amazing. Because like that trajectory for someone who started out like just kind of releasing little
really hard
ditties like that they were not taken seriously, I feel like.
No, and I think a lot of people still don't give her the credit for how intelligent her writing is.
Agreed, yeah.
And like I was one of those people until like a couple weeks ago. I'll be real.
I love how you admit that, because like so many people wouldn't, 1 and 2. I'm always the kind of person that's like, no, wait, listen, like, and people are like, oh, like that TikTok song, and I'm like, but yeah, it's Pink Pantheress.
I have to stand when like my roommate has sat me down and shown me so many music videos.
Thank
like,
God for Sean.
I know. He's doing God's work, really.
He's doing my work.
That's true.
Whenever you're not with me, like, he's just like pushing my agenda.
I'm always surrounded by it, and I'm thankful for it.
Yeah. But the whole album is amazing. So many cool features. I mean, the fact that Pink Pantheress released an album is just sick, because like again, like, I don't know if people would have ever seen her as like an album artist.
For sure.
And she's amazing. I definitely want to see her next year.
Hell yeah.
She's going on a headline tour.
Do we know who's opening it?
I forget. But she's also opening for Olivia Rodrigo.
Oh, wow. What a pair.
Which, there's another Olivia Rodrigo opener on my list.
And we'll get there. The sip. My number 7 is Yard by Slow Pulp. I feel like I talk about them all the time, so there's not too much to say. Other than that, they're just great. Like bubble grunge, Midwest.
Do we know them? Can we get them on the podcast?
I DM'd them on Instagram once and told them that, and they were like, thanks.
So it's happening in 2024.
I'm going to try my best. Yeah. I love a female-fronted band. Yes. Makes me really happy. I also just love that they do like sort of like Blondshell, where they kind of are calling to the 90s in a way where it's like some songs are truly about nothing. They have the song Cramps, one of my favorite songs by them. It's about having period cramps.
I need that.
They made this like fake woman called Heather, who is like who they want to be, and it's like all about
Conan Gray.
Yeah, okay. But it's like she was literally just grumpy, and they were in the studio, and she's like, I wish I were fucking Heather.
That's so funny. I love that.
Yeah. But I think they're great. Their sound is awesome, and I'm always looking to them for like melody inspiration.
Their name too, just always
Slow Pulp.
It's just like the way it's, you say it.
I can never say it right. If you notice in this podcast, when I recommend it to people, I say, have you listened to Slow Pulp?
Slow Pulp?
And they're like, huh?
Slow Pulp.
Slow Pulp. Like, I actually don't even know how to describe that. Anyways,
but that's such a sick name.
They're great.
Did I make this up, or did they go to Berkeley? No, I made that up.
I think you might have made that up, but I actually wouldn't be surprised.
Okay, my number 6 is A Waitlist by Arlo Parks.
Interesting.
This was the first year I like got into her.
Yeah, I wouldn't have expected it from you.
This song, okay, I'm gonna be honest, I listened to it because the cover art was a horse. And it was like such pretty cover art.
It is.
Which, like, I guess I judged a book by its cover, and it worked out for me.
Yeah.
Because this song is so good. I honestly have no idea what it's about.
I don't either.
It's such a vibe. Like, everyone I know who I've played it for is obsessed with it. Like, it's like the best car song. It's the best song to put on, like, when you don't, like, there's like a bunch of people there that you don't know what the vibe is. Right. It's such a vibe
neutral
song. Yeah, exactly. But like, not in a good way.
Yes. Androgynous.
Yes, exactly. And it's so good. It's, again, I don't really know what she's saying some of the time, but I love music where it doesn't matter.
Right.
Because it's like, I get it. I get the vibe, the feeling of it.
Yeah.
And it's just stuck in my head constantly. Now it's stuck in my head.
Well, I have to re-listen to it.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
So good. And then I have listened to the album too. She released this year. So good. I also like, there's another one where she talks about rose diptyque. Oh. Which is the candles that I love. And I was just like, name dropping a diptyque candle in a song is so good.
Incredible.
And yeah, so she's amazing. Another one who's touring next year. I would love to see her.
Yeah, let's get those tickets.
Yeah, literally.
My number 6 is Nancy and the Crooked Cowboy by Gwendolyn.
Such a sick title.
Yeah. Incredible title. A song that never fails to play in my car when I'm driving people home from places. Crooked Cowboy is so out of pocket.
I love that.
The best way. You finally got into Gwendolyn, right?
Yes, yes. Another alliteration, Crooked Cowboy.
Yes, Crooked Cowboy.
I love, like, again, so many of the songs that you gravitate towards have really, like, flow. Like,
I think, like, I'm more likely to click on a song if I like the title of it.
Meanwhile, I'm like, there's a horse.
I kind of just like, I'm intrigued if I have no idea what the song's going to be about based on the title.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I need to know more.
Exactly. Like, tell me how you get there.
Yeah.
But yeah, Crooked Cowboy, incredibly sexual song that is just like so cunty. I don't even know if I can say that on here, but
I will be saying it.
Yeah, I'll bleep it out or something. But there's this other song called Red Eye, and I'm probably projecting because I don't know what the meaning actually is, but I always hear it as like being in a long distance relationship and being like, actually, now that I'm out of it, I don't really know what to do with my life or who to be.
Wow.
And I was in that for a hot second of my life. My roommate calls it lovingly my disappeared era, where I just didn't exist.
He's out of pocket.
He is, but you know, like you need someone to call you out like
exactly,
that.
like in the best way.
He'll tell me stories sometimes, and I'm like, we lived together during that? And he's like, oh, that was your disappeared era.
Oh my gosh. That's such an interesting emotion to evoke in a song.
It is. I forget what the line is that always kills me, but yeah, that whole EP is really just a beautiful experience. And I heard it live for the first time in Gary's backyard.
Wow.
Yeah.
Living in LA
Full
is
circle.
crazy.
I know. Stupid. Number 5.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. Number 5 for me is AR by Addison Rae. Like 1,000% serious.
No, I know that you are. And it's also a great body of work.
They all doubted her. Never me.
Of course.
When Obsessed came out, I was like, let her cook.
Yeah.
Everyone hated on it. But how amazing is it for a woman to say, you say you're obsessed with me.
Same.
I am too.
Like, agree. I also look at myself in
Literally.
the mirror.
And if I were Addison Rae,
I would be obsessed.
Like, and that's why it works.
Yeah.
Because it's her. But yeah, so like the lore is there where like a lot of my friends and a lot of people online were like found some of her unreleased music. She definitely was not like the reception for Obsessed, I don't think gave her a lot of encouragement to keep making music.
Right.
And then when gay Twitter found it,
of course,
it was so cool to see like people, a lot of my friends would like meet her like out like at meet and greets and stuff and like tell her like they love her music and like seeing how much that meant to her.
Yeah.
And then her releasing this and Charlie XCX like kind of being her mentor for that was so cool. I love Charlie. I love that she'll take she never cares what other people think.
Yeah, genuine person, it seems.
And she said like she's spoken so highly of Addison and the music is just bop after bop.
Right.
I Got It Bad obviously is like iconic. That was definitely the one I listened to a lot leading up to the official release.
Right.
But Nothing On But the Radio, which is a Lady Gaga, like,
yep.
I think she like just she did like a demo for it and then it just disappeared. And Addison knows her pop history and that's why it's so good. Like she
knew it would be a hit.
Exactly. And it's so good. I mean, if the songs were longer and if there was more music, she would have been on the top of my Spotify Wrapped.
Yes.
To Die For, of course, also.
Yeah, I remember hearing that leak and it was so good.
And To Die For was on like 2 or 3 and definitely 2 end of year lists, like really big end of year lists.
Really? Okay.
Like it was like number 90 or something. But the fact that it was
there.
It's so cool. I love when people realize that like sometimes just like fun pop music is good and worth like, you know, like critical acclaim.
Yeah, and also like we don't always have to be so pretentious and like I know we hate influencers and that whole situation that's going on, but like if it's good, it's good.
Exactly. And I feel like a lot of people kind of just had to be like, and it's good.
And it's good.
And I love her. I would love for her to do a show. Addison, if you're watching.
I could only hope that Addison were watching.
She might.
God.
Do a show at the Fonda and I'll be queuing for days.
Sounds good.
And I'll be front row.
I know you will. You're not lying about that. My number 5 is just so aggressively different. It's Big Bite by Hannah Cole.
That is so funny, which I love her so much too.
Yeah, one that like truly came out of nowhere for me. I hadn't heard Hannah Cole before this EP, And I love the like darkness of the sound.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful. Hilda is a great song on there.
Yes.
Melt. It's just like,
I love Nuisance. Is that on that?
Yeah.
I love that song.
I think we literally just listed every single track. It's just so good. And once again, I love to see a female alternative artist like not feeling like they have to make standard pop decisions in order to be appreciated.
Oh, yes.
Because we are always like pushed to be like either Sarah Bareilles or I don't know, Carly Rae Jepsen.
Yeah, exactly.
Like those are the only two options. But she chose somewhere in the middle, and it's just like such a dark sound. I love it.
She's so good.
Yeah, I can't wait for more.
Yes, definitely. Shout out to my friend Jacob for telling me about Hannah Cole.
Love.
Number 4 for me is Honey by Samia.
I'm never sure. I think it's Samia.
Because I always say it one way, and then my friend Taylor always corrects me.
I always say Samia in my head.
I've never heard that one.
But I know now that it's Samia.
This album came out at the beginning of the year, and it like very much defined my whole year.
Mm-hmm.
It was such a sneak on my Spotify Wrapped. Like I didn't expect it to be that high up. Charm You.
The Blondshell cover of Charm You is so good.
That's so crazy that she did that, and that's so cool. Samia is another like one that rejects song rules.
Yes.
What is it? Kill Her, Freak Out. I can't. I mean, I love it so much. I can't listen to that song. It makes me like want like violent.
I'm going to enter a psychotic episode every time I listen to it.
Honey, all year, me and my friends, it's all honey.
It's all honey.
That's all. Like it literally is.
Yeah,
there's no arguing with that.
The juxtaposition of those two, like one being so like and then Kill Her, Freak Out.
Every emotion on the album is so extreme.
Yeah, and she never sacrifices herself.
No, she's so amazing, and like. It's crazy to me that she followed up like her first album with something so amazing too, because that first album was like
untouchable.
Perfection.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just love her so much, and I feel like 2024 will be a big year for her too.
Yeah, I'm stoked for that.
Same.
My number 4 is Health, an EP by Medium Build, who I had heard a couple of his songs. He has this older song called Be Your Boy that I liked, but this one just like totally changed his vibe. It is an EP that's a lot about like finding yourself. He has a song called Never Learn to Dance. And
you talk about that song a lot.
I talk about this song a lot because it just, I have a memory of me hearing it for the first time in a CVS, and I like had a breakdown. I have a lot of breakdowns to music. It's not good.
I think that's why we're doing this, because we both do.
True. It's true. But the song talks about something that I didn't know anybody else had felt, which is like, I'm doing this thing and I feel so passionate about music and devoting my life to it, but it feels so small in the grand scheme of things.
Oh God, I need to listen to that.
Yeah. And the chorus is like, there has to be some better shit to give a shit about.
Damn.
And I'm like, yeah, there is so much better shit. Like I'm here upset because of I can't find the right drum sound, and yet my friends from high school are building rocket ships.
Yeah, I'm like, and how lucky are we that that's like what we get to like worry about.
Yeah. But also there's the song Give Me Back My Soul, which is also incredible about just feeling like you're recovered from something, but a piece of you'll just literally never get back. And
oh my God.
Oh, it kills me. It kills me. He's so good, and I will never stop telling people to listen to that.
There's this, I think I saved one of his songs. Let me just see what it is.
Yeah.
For my own interest. Okay, well, now I don't know, so. I don't remember, but
that's fine.
I'll look it up later.
Yeah, Never Learn to Dance. It's like, I've spent so much time doing all of this, but I still don't know how to dance.
That's crazy.
Oh, God.
That's so interesting.
It's wild.
I can't wait to listen to that.
Okay.
Number 3 for me, another podcast alum.
Ooh.
Going, Going, Gone by Hemlock Springs.
Yeah.
The whole EP, but that song specifically too.
Okay, yeah, that's your fave.
That has been my like soundtrack song. Like I feel like a lot, like there's so much music I love, but there are certain songs that are like, if I actually had to make a movie about my life, like I actually would put that in there.
Oh, that's such a cool feeling.
She's like, what is there to even say? Like she's so unique, and We saw her live.
So good.
Life-changing. The fact that she just taught herself how to produce
on a whim. Didn't mean
casual. Like, that's so crazy. And there's like this song called Train to Nowhere. And I had such a cool moment because I loved the song, and then we were watching it live, and I was like, it clicked, like, what it's about.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, this is about the music industry.
For sure.
She's amazing. She's going to have a big year too next year.
I think, yeah, it's going to be her moment.
Yeah. She's so unapologetically herself.
That is what I loved about her the most. It's like she's one of the most person people that we've talked to. Just like a real, like, she wasn't trying to put on an artist persona in any way.
Not
like,
at all.
You're actually just like that.
Which is crazy because like she has such a presence in her music.
Exactly.
And like her performance where it could be an act.
Right.
Like,
I'm like, no, you are just that cool.
Exactly. She's amazing. The whole album front to back, or EP front to back.
Yeah.
But Sever the Blight is not on there, and that's one of my top songs of the year.
But she did reveal to us that Sever the Blight is going to be the vibe of the whole album that's coming up.
Yes. So
which is so exciting.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. I'm stoked to keep an eye on her.
Yes.
My number 3 is a single. And we all knew this was coming. It's Deep by Devin again.
Love this song.
I like wasn't even yearning at the time that I heard this song, but I heard it for the first time sitting at my desk here.
Love.
And I cried again.
Yeah.
I'm always crying. And it just like makes me feel things that I don't even have like a meaning for. Like there's no root to this like fucking, I'm like yearning for something that I can't even place.
But it's not that deep.
But it's not that deep.
That's what's so crazy about that song is like she's saying it's not that deep, and I'm like, but you know it is.
Yeah, and it gets more desperate as it goes on. It's like it goes from her telling us it's not that deep to her trying to convince herself.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, and the melodic like landscape of that second verse should be studied.
Yes.
It's crazy what she's doing, and then the way that outro makes us go literally underwater.
It's crazy.
Like, shut up, Devin. That's fucking stupid.
And the rhymes.
Yeah.
Like, she's just spitting.
She's spitting bars.
It's crazy.
And you can hear her sort of like R&B influences in her earlier music, but I love now that she sort of morphed it just into a part of her pop songwriting style.
So cool.
She's just so smart. And that song, more than like all of her songs have always elicited such a visceral reaction from me, but that one really like grips me every time.
Yeah.
I hear that little guitar intro and I'm like, all right, well, time to like reminisce for the rest of the day.
I always think about when we saw her live. Well, we saw a lot of these artists live together, which is so cool. When she just pulls out the Heelys.
Which is so her to do. Like,
I loved it.
All of us are waiting for this emotional song, and now you're going to Heely across the stage.
Healing while going, it's not that deep. I'm like, she's are
such
everything.
An enigma.
I love her. My number 2 is Paint My Bedroom Black by Holly Humberstone.
Queen.
I've been a Holly head.
Yes, you have been.
Since like the first singles, like Vanilla, like all of those.
I love Vanilla.
So good. This album might be one of my favorite albums of all time.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's like poppy in the best ways, but then alternative. And then there's even some like weird hyper poppy elements in it.
Yeah.
And Flatlining, which is such a good song. But I'd say like Into Your Room, which the Muna remix is really good, but the original song is so good too. Cocoon, Ghost Me, the whole, I mean, I don't like, it's so rare that like I won't shuffle an album. Like I listen to it front to back.
Ooh.
Every time I listen to it.
See, you told me that I needed to listen to those songs specifically again, and I haven't yet. I think the Muna remix is going to be my in.
Yeah, I think for a lot of people too.
Yeah.
Tatum, who we also work with, she was like, I think I was telling her to listen to the whole album, and then she's been posting about the Muna remix a lot. Yeah. So I hope that's like the gateway.
I think it will be.
But Kissing in Swimming Pools too.
A great one, yeah.
She's just like, her songwriting is crazy.
She is just someone who came out of nowhere too.
Literally. And she like, to me, she's like classic already.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cocoon, when she says, now I've become a taxidermy version of myself.
Who let you?
That whole song is so resonant with me because it's about literally like coming out of a depressive episode and breaking out of your cocoon and literally going for a drive. And like that being like,
been there.
Not that I drive, but with Peter driving me.
Yeah.
Like that being such like a like monumental thing to just like leave your house.
Yeah.
And go drive around, listen to music and smoke cigarettes. Like that being like breaking out of a depressive episode.
It's
like,
so universal.
It's so crazy. And just every song, I literally like Lauren, like, I mean, I will just name every song. So go listen to the whole album front to back.
I will. I'll save it.
And I'm seeing her. I got tickets.
And you're going to see Medium Build.
Oh, he's opening?
Yeah.
Amazing. I'm
this
so
is
excited.
Perfect. Okay.
Well, you'll have to come.
I'll try my best.
I literally got myself one ticket. I was like, someone will come with me.
Yeah. I'll look. Okay, my number 2 is an album I only found a couple weeks ago. Dizzy by Dizzy.
So good.
Insane. Another no skip for me that like immediately shot up to the top of my list. That opening track, Birthmark, beautiful catchy chorus, crazy, but then there's like some lyrical moments throughout the rest of it that just kill me. Barking Dog is a wild song.
How did you find that artist?
I posted on TikTok and I said, I have a flight tomorrow and I have no new music. Can people recommend me stuff in the comments? And someone commented that one. They were like, I promise I won't let you down.
They ate with that.
They also recommended me like a bunch of my friends and like people that we work with. And I was like, oh,
that's so cute.
Makes me happy. But yeah, Dizzy by Dizzy. I hadn't heard of her before. I think it's a band, but led by a front woman.
The cover art is sick.
Yes, she has this weird mask on.
It's, love. It gives me really horror vibes.
Horror vibes, but then like just the range of like really pop to like sort of indie, folkish, grungy. I like want to study that one. I'm going to get deep into it soon.
Yeah, I need to listen to it more, but the first song like has been on
Divine
repeat for me. It's so good.
Yeah. Okay, number 1.
I wonder who it's going to be.
If you know Giselle.
This year, Chappell Roan released her debut album. This was so interesting for me as a longtime fan of hers because half of the album, maybe more, has been out.
For a while, too.
Yeah, and as like a, like seen her live so many times, so many of the songs she'd been performing as like almost like a test to see if the crowd liked them. Like they were all unreleased.
Okay.
I listened to the Hot to Go like live recorded audio on like I had it downloaded to my like iTunes and everything.
Wow.
So like After Midnight, Hot to Go, and there was another one too. Oh, Red Wine Supernova.
Oh.
I listened to all those before they came out. Like the crowd, like one of my friends had recorded it on his phone and like sent it to all of us when there was like 5 Chappell stands. He was passing it around like a blunt.
That's great.
And so it was really cool to see it all like as a full album. Honestly, I was kind of skeptical of like putting like most of her discography that up to that point,
which is a move I don't usually like.
Exactly. And like pinning Pink Pony Club and California on there because they're such old songs. It is so cool to see people like listen to them as if they're new,
right? And
just see everyone I know listen to her. Period is crazy.
She's such a name now, and like I've been listening to her since Pink Pony Club as well.
Same.
Not nearly at the same caliber as you. I can't even put myself equal to that.
It was a bit too serious for me.
But you're right. It is like I was a little bit mad at Holly when she like made an album a while ago and it was just one new song.
Yeah.
But this one is like, okay, now we have Hot to Go, which is like a fucking hit. And we have people coming from that to Pink Pony Club. And like now they're getting to listen to them in the context of who Chappell is now, which I think is really important for her. So it's exciting to see.
It's so special. Like,
yeah,
no, I'm not going to mention her again. I haven't seen an artist like come up like this since Taylor Swift, but it's true. Because like the cult following is already there. And this year, I mean, just imagine every night at the Olivia Rodrigo tour, thousands of people are going to become a stan.
Absolutely.
So it's going to be so cool. And I'm seeing her last headlining show the night before the Olivia tour starts.
Yeah.
I'm going to San Diego.
Okay.
And so it'll be like literally like the night before she blows up forever, which is going to be so cool.
It's going to be such a turning point.
Yeah.
It's cool to see like the before, and it's going to be the after.
I mean, I've seen her live 4 times this year.
Wow.
And like from the beginning, it was like the Fonda, which was at that moment was such a big thing for her. Then selling out the Wiltern, and like just that jump was so crazy. But I do want to just mention one track, the last track on the album, Guilty Pleasure. Mm-hmm. I think it's my song of the year.
Okay.
It's who ends their debut album with a yodeling solo. Only the best artist I could ever think of.
She had to go back to her roots.
No, exactly. And that's what's so cool about the whole album. It's like it incorporates every aspect of her life, which is so hard to do.
Yeah.
But make it cohesive.
Yeah.
But right before she performed it at the show at the Wiltern, she was like, "This is my favorite song on the album," and like it was so cool because that had become mine too. Guilty Pleasure in California, they're like tied for me, which is like crazy. It's like the earliest song and then the most recent song.
Right.
And Guilty Pleasure, it's like it's just a release, like of everything that she's been talking about.
Again. Yeah.
It's like I'm finally like can be myself. Like I'm not gonna get emotional, but and just, but I want to become emotional over this song. It's like it starts off like so slow and like intimate and like she's singing like sometimes I scare myself, and then it just blows up into like this disco yodeling.
Who would do that?
Who else could do that?
But because she is the person she is,
exactly. Yeah, and I mean 2024 is going to be like the year of Chappell Roan.
It already is.
Like the end of this year is like the preview. Like people I know from high school are like posting about her.
That's so cool for you to see, genuinely.
It's just so cool when I heard Pink Pony Club and I was like, whatever this girl does next,
I'm here. Yeah. And you are.
Yeah.
You are the dream fan.
So what's your number one?
Okay, my number one to end this thing out, I need to pull up the track list, is I Miss You Already and I Haven't Left Yet, which I saw by Del Water Gap. Saw Del Water Gap perform this album couple weeks ago, and he explained that was a quote from his grandfather that he wrote in a note to his grandmother, and that makes me want to die.
Wait, that's so crazy because Chappell is named after her grandfather.
Oh.
Her grandfather's name was Chappell, and then the last name is the Strawberry Roan is a song that she grew up listening to. But it's so interesting that like both are like family, like kind of dedications.
Yeah, your roots.
Yeah.
It's what makes you, and also he like always is posting about his grandma, like high key.
I love that.
But this is like a no skip album for me, and one that has kind of morphed into more and more for me the more I've listened to it. Like the hits, Losing You, Coping on Unemployment, Not Fucked Up. So good.
Coping on Unemployment.
Which like a pandemic hits,
I love that.
Obviously. But then there's these other ones like Dollhouse is kind of just about like being there for your friends and being like, you actually didn't need a reason to call me, like I'm just here.
I love that.
And then
I love a man saying that.
He's the softest man that's ever existed. He's dating Maggie Rogers, like come on.
I did know this about him.
Yes, which
that was
honestly,
my context about him.
Colors so much of his music is like knowing that it could be about Maggie Rogers.
That's so cool.
But there's this song that ends it, and it's called We Will Never Be Like Anybody Else, and it's like pretty much just piano, and I don't hear a lot of just piano songs anymore that grab me, because that used to be everything I listened to.
Interesting.
When I was like a freshman in high school, I was a big Ben Folds, Sarah Bareilles, Fiona Apple gal. And it'll never fail to kill me. It has this little like chromatic progression, and I don't, like as a person, I am a romantic and have been in relationships, but I don't ever feel that like devoutness that a lot of people write about. I don't, that's just not something I've experienced yet.
Yeah.
Not yet. But this song like has given me a glimpse of like what I think that is.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's the best with music. It's like, I can't wait to feel that one day.
Yes. It's like loving someone religiously.
Yeah. And you get to experience it through that lens, and then it's almost like you're more equipped for it.
Right. I have,
when it comes.
Yeah, I have the tools.
Yeah. Oh my God.
But yeah, that's my top one. It was close. Like ranking these guys was but what a good year for music.
So good. And just like the amount of artists that you've exposed me to this year.
No, same. I feel like I've gotten half of the people I've listened to from you.
I know. So. And we're going to take over 2024.
Us like
that
showing up
so menacing.
Watch out.
Yeah,
we're coming for you. We truly are like dynamic duo showing up to shows together.
Literally, I know. Like the fact that I was like, oh yeah, we saw this artist, we saw this artist.
I didn't realize.
Yeah, me neither.
And when did we meet? 2.5 months ago?
No, longer. Like August.
Was that when you started?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, like I started in September, so
3-ish months ago. Yeah.
We became friends in September.
We're buddies.
Yes.
Well, that's our.
Also, I wanted to say that you like have been killing this podcast, and it's been so cool to like see you interact with these artists, and I'm just so happy with what you're doing. It's going to be so much fun in the new year too, like to just like keep building into everyone who listens.
Empire.
Thank you. Yeah, we keep building our empire.
You're a part of it too. Honestly, my favorite episodes. My favorite episodes are when you're here.
Well, so. I'm gonna definitely try to hop on more in the new year.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody, thanks for listening. Let us know what you want to hear. Like and subscribe.
Let us know your favorite releases of the year.
Yeah.
So we can listen to more.
And yeah, petition for your favorite artists to be on here.
Yes, exactly.
Tell them.
Tell Chappell Roan.
Tell Chappell Roan that you want.
Her seat is ready.
Her seat is warm.
Yeah, I'm warming their seat up.
Okay, that's about all we should do. Bye.
That was amazing.